and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more. Genius Hub is committed to promoting MSME growth and visibility through incubation, acceleration, startup development services, as well as tech-driven interventions, including training and capacity building in digital marketing, basic digital literacy, product photography, social media marketing, financial management, search engine optimization, and more. Through NYTV, Genius Hub reaches out to train aspiring creatives in the areas of photography, cinematography, editing, lighting, and many more.
Top 10 most common to our money. We have our money code from. This is a very clean, elegant, professional condiment fragrance, which is quite a disparity from the Versace Eros.
Welcome to Genius Hub, the right destination for human capacity development, skills acquisition, and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more. Genius Hub is committed to promoting MSME growth and visibility through incubation, acceleration, startup development services, as well as tech-driven interventions, including training and capacity building in digital marketing, basic digital literacy, product photography, social media marketing, financial management, search engine optimization, and more. Through NYTV, Genius Hub reaches out to train aspiring creatives in the areas of photography, cinematography, editing, lighting, and many more. Welcome to Genius Hub, the right destination for human capacity development, skills acquisition, and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more. Genius Hub is committed to promoting MSME growth and visibility through incubation, acceleration, startup development services, as well as tech-driven interventions, including training and capacity building in digital marketing, basic digital literacy, product photography, social media marketing, financial management, search engine optimization, and more. Through NYTV, Genius Hub reaches out to train aspiring creatives in the areas of photography, cinematography, editing, lighting, and many more.
Hi, good afternoon, ma.
Favor body dey hot.
I don't know they wait for an assist.
Favor, how are you? Good to hear your voice. So good to know
Yes,
that you
me
are so
too.
excited and you are as excited as we are. So welcome everybody and welcome to Genius Hub webinar series. And we have a very willing and excited Favor, Mr. Favor Ebruski here with us today. And today we are going to be talking about blockchain impact for B2B. Favor, if I good way you show your face, so before I read out your profile.
My face they show. I don't have my camera.
Favor, your face is not showing yet.
I miss his network. Can you see my face now? Can you see me now? Your mic is muted.
Not yet. Maybe you should leave the studio and okay, we can see you now. Favor, you're welcome. So we welcome all our guests. Tell us where you are watching us from. Tell us how excited you are to be joining us today again. And I said that today we are going to be doing blockchain impacts for B2B. And we just celebrated and commemorated International Youth Day. And we are bringing Favor here, one of the great and many youths in Nigeria doing exploits in the country.
Okay. Um. I'm calling from Mori to be precise. And actually, I'm very excited because I've been planning this for like the past since I was told till now. Last night it just occurred like, yes, I need to go back and do reviews on my presentation. Like today's going to be hot. You get what I mean? So I'm actually excited to be here to actually discuss on blockchain, which is actually my since I actually came into this ecosystem, it has been fun. So I just want to share the experience
That you
of
have.
being in this
Okay, Favor.
ecosystem.
Okay, so I bring you greetings from our host, Isimeme White. And then, Favor, I will just indulge you to tell us briefly about yourself before we begin this excited journey.
Okay, so like the host said, my name is Favor Ebrisike. Actually, this whole tech stuff started after secondary school. That was in 2013. And then I came into programming. So it has actually been, it's not easy actually coming into the tech space, but it's actually fun. 2013, I came in, I started with VB.net, which is a Microsoft programming language, then moved to C Sharp, then started my professional career in 2019 with Wema Bank. Yeah, after I left Wema Bank, came back to Wari. Then I think I worked for some few startups, which I later left to start my own. But I still work for other startups as well too. So that's how the journey has been for me.
Tell us the name of your organization that you work for, your own. This your own.
So currently I have two. Oh, okay. Let me start with the name, then I'll talk about how the two startups came about. So I
Okay.
currently have two startups. One
Okay.
happens to be an e-commerce brand, while the
Okay.
other happens to be a blockchain brand.
Okay.
So the names
Wow.
of the two are, one is Cuff Stores, the other one is
Costos.
Zeus.
Costos. Okay. So I know you buy Costos. Okay. And so you said your interest is in blockchain. That's why we're going to be talking about blockchain impact for B2B. And Favor, we have a lot of MSMEs on our call, and we train at Genius Hub. We do a lot of training on e-commerce. We have a lot of startups, incubation. We do acceleration programs. And so this information is going to be very useful to everybody who is listening to us. So we're going to be addressing small business owners and intending business owners. Okay. So
Okay.
you're going to tell us this blockchain thing. What is it? A lot of us have heard about blockchain. What is it? Then you're going to also tell us what is B2B. We have to break it down so that we can carry everyone along. Okay. So Favor, shoot.
Hey, Mr. Sam. Sorry, a call came in.
Okay. So, what is this new whole concept of blockchain?
So okay, now for layman's sake, blockchain is just a decentralized system whereby you don't need to work with intermediaries, and its focus is basically on transparency of transactions. So whereby you don't need to actually, there's nothing to fake. You get? So I think one of the issues we have with SMEs in Nigeria is trust, transparencies, and trust in transactions in dealings. I think there are several SMEs that have complained of sending a money to a particular wholesaler or manufacturer that refuse to send in their goods. These are some common issues we are commonly faced in Nigeria, and also issues of transportation, trying to take your goods from one location to the other. So these are, I think, some of the common issues that are faced within the ecosystem. So blockchain was actually a tool that was meant to solve financial issues. That was why Bitcoin came about, because Bitcoin was actually the first cryptocurrencies that came on the blockchain. But later on, it was found out that actually this could actually solve a lot of problems beyond just finance, whereby you can use it to set regulations for your business, especially when you run like a supermarket where your staffs are always running you down. With the help of blockchain system, there's no way you can actually manipulate the system, because it keeps for transparency, which is one of the key things, then trust, which is the second. Meaning you can't tamper with documents. You can't tamper with company files. Whatever you tamper with on the blockchain, if we come to tradition, the traditional way of where we do things, I could actually write down 10,000 naira sold, and I can come back and change that 10,000 to 8,000. But on the blockchain, if you do that, it's going to store two records. First record of 10,000, second record of 8,000. So you now have to explain to the company where is 18,000. So that's how the blockchain works. So it helps with this transparency and trust when it comes with business. So that's like intro to the topic.
Favor, and you will all agree with me that transparency and trust are two ingredients that we need to build a successful business, that we need to grow a successful organization. Once transparency is missing, then there is a big problem. But when we have transparency and trust, then there is no limit to how much we can get from our companies, even in an organization. Once we can establish transparency on this blockchain, then everybody around knows that there is no mango. Favor, share, no mango. Just like the example you gave now.
Yes,
If you
now.
first 10,000, then you later come back and say, hey, that it was not 10,000, it was actually 8. You have to explain, because the blockchain will automatically record it and see it as two different transactions. So today we are very excited with you, Favor, as you take us through the impact of this blockchain now in our B2B. Okay? So let's go right
Okay.
ahead into it.
So I'll be sharing my screen right away. So
Go ahead.
slides. Um,
Do we have any challenges there?
no. I'm sharing the screen from my Google Slides, so it's going to take
Okay.
some few minutes.
Okay. So whilst we're waiting, we have Favor here with us. He's the father of 2 startups and many more to come. And today he's going to be talking about the impact of the blockchain on our B2B. And this is Genius Hub webinar series, and we're bringing you a very excited Favor who has prepared to engage us today. And I want to say, before we run, I want to say thank you, Favor. From the very time we reached out to you to be a guest on our webinar, you have been really, really excited, and I too have been looking forward to today. So network, give us the slide. Let's go.
So okay, now first slide says the importance of blockchain in B2B. So let's start from challenges. So the first definition starts with what is blockchain, first of all. So like I said earlier on, so blockchain is just a distributed database or ledger shared among computers. So what it means is, in the blockchain, unlike a traditional system whereby everything is stored on one central unit, for the blockchain, everything is stored in different distributed systems across the blockchain. So a data is not stored in one location, it is stored across multiple locations. So in the ecosystem for blockchain, nothing is hidden. Everything is open, like you can see whatsoever is going on. It is an open it's open for everybody to know whatsoever everybody is doing. That's why when it comes to B2B business, small B2B businesses and dealing with clients, it's easy to see through every transaction with the help of the blockchain. And everything is just done through what we call a smart contract, which I'll talk on later. But the entirety of a blockchain is just to help resolve those loopholes that we have in businesses in terms of what we have to do with sales, distribution, when it comes to even the economy itself, because most times the economy tends to affect transactions. So for instance, you might decide to go to the market today and buy things for about 30,000. That was the price of yesterday. Today you can wake up and they'll say the price of what you bought 30,000 has gone to 60,000 naira. Now you
That is
as a
Nigeria.
salesman, now the old prices of currently right now, even Nigeria right now. So let me even use our country as a case study. The price of things every day is shooting up. So businesses are even struggling to meet up. Some persons are even thinking of closing down their business because of the whole inflation rate going on right now. Transportation is on the high side. So right now, moving goods from one location to another is a problem, because by the time you now start thinking of, okay, I've been able to buy this product, how much should I sell? What will be my profits? And because of the way things are, many people are losing customers. So we're actually in a, a very, very, very terrible times in our country. So one of the solutions in fixing that is actually blockchain. Now, one of the solutions blockchain provides, one of the core problem blockchain provides is it has the ability to stabilize an ecosystem. So let me give you an instance. Now, for the blockchain, there are two types of currencies in the blockchain. You have stable coin and native coins, stable and unstable coins. Now, for the unstable coins is the one we are used to, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the most popular ones that we know. Then for stable coins, we have like an equivalent of the US dollars called USDT in the blockchain, whereby it is pegged to the US dollars. So the value of US dollars in the market is the equivalent of USDT in the market. So blockchain has the ability to actually stabilize business ecosystems across Africa. So that was why my startup came about, Zeus. So yeah, let me put a little bit of story. So when I started Cuff Stores was supposed to be an e-commerce, basically an e-commerce business. But I looked at I can't be in competition with the big lions in the game, because coming to in competition with these guys in this current economic situation in this country is going to be a fight that I will lose. So I thought of a way, okay, what other way can we, instead of being in competition, let's collaborate. Let's look for a way whereby I could be of help to these other businesses. That was how Zeus came about. So Zeus was actually, okay, let's try to solve this commerce of business that we are facing in this country, whereby the regulations right now is crazy. Lagos State right now says they want to charge their work at home citizens, start charging them for taxes now. And there's a lot of, everybody comes from different states, so our different states now have different policies that are not even favorable for businesses in this country. So thinking of those stuff right now, as a business person, you want to think of a way of survival. So I was thinking, okay, why not create tools whereby we could actually build an ecosystem for small scale businesses to run their business on a stable coin, whereby the inflation of product does not affect your daily transactions. So let me say you are selling something for the cost of 1,000 naira. You don't need to change the cost for 1,000 naira when you are trading on a stable coin. It just remains 1,000 naira. Even if the market should go up or come down, the prices remains the same. It's still the same 1,000 naira your customers will pay. Now, this will put more money in your pockets and save more money for your customers. How this works is this. So when if you are transacting on the Zeus ecosystem, what it gives you is your customers could be able to pay you on a more, it has to do with both fiat and crypto. So if I have fiat to pay you, I can pay you fiat in a crypto equivalent. So let me say the cost of goods I'm buying from your hand is 1,000 naira. So all I need to buy is I need to get 1,000 naira of that product I'm buying in the on the cryptos for, let me say I'm buying a goods for 1,000 naira. Now what is 1,000 naira in, let me say, for USDT? Currently right now, I think dollar is 1,006. So USDT is 1,006. 1,000 naira will be like 16K. You get now 16,000 naira is huge. Sorry, it's not 16,000, it's $1.6. Sorry, 1,000 naira is $1.6 now. So if I want to trade with you, because what I'm buying is just 1,000 naira, so I'm paying $1.06. Now, even if naira should shoot up tomorrow to about, let me say, 2,000 naira, my product is still sold at $1.06 because it's still on a stable ecosystem. And because the you as the business owner, you are earning in a stable coin, it's easy for you to be at the edge of the market because whatever value naira takes in the market space, it will still gain more. You still be at edge. So that's one of the importance of the whole blockchain system. So let's talk about some challenges we face actually in the ecosystem, Nigeria business ecosystem. One of it, which I just mentioned, is economic stability. Nigeria economy is susceptible in inflation. Yes. So he said Nigeria's economy is suitable for to inflation, impacting business purchasing power and investment decisions. Now, for the past 6 months, I think Google has left Nigeria, Microsoft have left Nigeria, Amazon that came to Nigeria, that was in 2021, 2019, 2021, have left Nigeria. So we have most of these big firms leaving us to other countries, and it's affecting the economy and it's also affecting how Nigerians do business. So these are actually some of the problem. Another one is infrastructure deficiencies, poor roads, no power supply, limited internet connectivity, hindering of operations and increased costs. So running business in Africa especially is hard. Nigeria is terrible because of a lot of government policies. That is one. Number two, there is no suitable ecosystem to actually do business in this country that will favor you as a business person. So it's as if everything is just against us as citizens. So we have what we call the currency inflation, where that's what we are facing right now. The value of naira today is about 1,615 currently right now. I think on the black market, 1,615. So next is, so this is how, now let's talk about the solutions cryptocurrency is actually bringing. Now, in terms of what we call the economic instability and currency fluctuation, this is where you can make use of, you can build programs. You get. So he said for smart contract, this can automate payment based on predefined terms, ensuring timely and accurate transaction, even in fluctuating conditions. So I was giving you an example of what Zeus does. So if you are going to pay 1,000 naira for a product, 1,000 naira based on inflation rate is about 1.6. Now, if it should increase as a seller, it will go to 2,000 naira, meaning you're buying that same thing from you, I have to pay 2,000 as a consumer to the seller. Now, the only thing right now is I'm paying you in a more stable currency. You get, your business is running on a more stable ecosystem compared to using the traditional form, because the currency we are using is devaluing on a daily basis. Now, building a business on a devalued currency will crash your business over time. Someone was giving an analysis of investments in Nigeria. If you invest in Nigeria's stock exchange, now when he made a calculation of investing about ₦1,000,000, let me say you bought any of the Nigerian stocks. It was giving instance of one of the stocks that was about, last year the stock was about 18 naira per share, and you bought about 1 million. Now that means you have like 18 million shares. Now, as at this year, the stock was about 22 naira, meaning the person made about 4 million naira plus. Now, if you have to calculate it to the inflation we have currently, the person made losses. You made profits in naira, but you made losses in the market. In your bank account, you made a profit of 4 million. But if you want to compare it to the inflation exchange rates, you're actually at loss. So these are things people face in terms of transacting Nigeria currently, because your company could actually make a profit of 10 million naira last year, because if you convert the exchange rate of last year to the exchange rate of this year, it's not the same thing. So, and if you actually make that same 10 million naira this year, you're actually at loss, meaning you are not growing. So this is where blockchain comes in to help. So instead of running on a system whereby the government policies are not trusted and the activities going on in the country does not support businesses, the next thing to do is just to take your business from a traditional way of doing things and bring it into an ecosystem whereby things can be actually be stabilized for you to some extent. So even the heat of the inflation, your business don't tend to feel it that much. So we'll talk about tokenization, which is asset that can be tokenized, providing a more stable medium of exchange than fiat currencies, like I said. So instead of you receiving fiat currencies like your naira for transaction, you can actually decide to use stable currencies. Now, for statistics showing, they say Nigeria is the country with the highest users of cryptocurrencies as at now. We are number one in the world when it comes to consumption or usage of cryptocurrencies. So making use of crypto for payments is something that can be welcomed in the long run in the country. Now, another one is bureaucracy and corruption. This is a normal, we know about this one. The problem with this whole situation with Nigeria is the leaders know what to do, but they don't want to do it. So that's just it. And aside that, it comes to the business sector as a whole. Some businesses are, due to the way things are going right now, even business partners are playing business partners. Person you are buying things from are even inflating the price times two. I think there's a rice warehouse close to my house. It was my dad that was telling us that the people were rebagging the rice. So they'll get you just imagine that full bag of rice they are selling 72,000. Now, when they carry the rice to their factory, they will rebag that same rice. So let me say if that entire basket is supposed, in that entire bag of rice, supposed to be like 15 baskets, for instance, you are buying like 8 or 9 for that same amount. So the corruption is deep. Nigerians playing Nigerians. This is just it. If not that my dad saw it now, everybody like, and people tripping there to buy these things. And when you ask them, okay, why is the rice like this? They'll tell you, now this is the country, but this is what these guys do on a daily basis. They rebag their rice and stuff like that. Another one is called transparency. This is where blockchain fits transparency. Blockchain immutable records. So those businesses that takes in records, you take in records on a daily basis for your businesses. Now, what you need is transparency, meaning every record that is imputed cannot be edited or deleted. You can't delete anything from the blockchain. It's there, it is there. So how it works is this. So let me say you run a small supermarket and you have a database that takes in product. Now, there's a section of your database that takes in new stocks, the prices. So let me say your total stock that you stock is about 3 million. Now, you as a business owner, at the end of the business day, you are expecting that you make a profit of about, let me say, 5 million naira. But based on some calculations, you know, okay, this was the amount you bought each of these things. So how come the money is not up to this exact amount? Questions start coming up. This is where people start questioning their staffs. Oh, this one is stealing from me. Oh, this one is doing this. Yeah, most times there are some cases whereby even staffs tend to inflate prices to make extra for themselves. So instead of making about like 5 million, you are making about 7 million, but you cannot account for the other 2 million. Cases like that. So this is where like blockchain comes. Okay, we can give you a transparent database whereby if the total goods you have is 3 million and your expectance is 5 million, whatsoever occurs, whatsoever record that is entered is going to be is something that your staffs cannot delete or edit, because any of the options you do is going to create a new database, is going to add a new item to the database. So if they tend to edit it, it's going to add more. You can't even delete because there's no option for deleting in the blockchain. It is there, it is there. So it solves the issues of trust among your staffs. Then talk about efficiency. Smart contracts can automate bureaucracy process, reducing paperwork and delay. So another way too is processes, especially when it comes to applying for these international passports and all that. Also in your businesses too, there are some processes that you don't even need to, that requires paperwork, that you could just know. You could actually just store them on the blockchain. Now, this is one thing about the blockchain is you are the one in control of your data. Nobody is controlling your data. For instance, if a software was to be created for you, the software company that created the software still have access to that software. I'll give an instance. So there's this bank called, I won't mention the name of the bank. So there's this bank in Warri. Now, the bank had a developer who worked on the person who created the systems for them that they were using, the software that they were using. So the guy did something funny. So what the guy was doing was all the dummy accounts in the bank, he was actually withdrawing the funds from those dummy accounts. So let me say a customer comes and leave like 10,000 naira or 100k, and leaves the account, leave the money there for like months, 6 months, just leave the account money there and forget about it. This guy will do, what we do is from his system, he will start withdrawing the money from those accounts, because he had like a backlog to the entire process. So he was stealing money from the system. So I think the bank somehow find out about it. In between they find out about it, they employed somebody I know. So the man actually went there and started doing some analysis on the system to actually, okay, where did the money go to, try to trace where the money comes to. Then I found out that all transactions were actually coming from Abuja. So the guy that was actually doing this thing was actually using his system to steal money from the bank all the way from Abuja. And I think the money that left the bank was actually a very huge sum of money. Very huge sum of money. Now, things like these are things like that occurs on a daily basis. There was one I saw on Twitter where a CTO was complaining that he just resumed office in a fintech organization and find out that the former CTO that left was actually collecting 1 naira per 1 naira from every transaction that left. So if the bank makes a transaction of 10,000, 1 naira, 1 million. So every transaction that go per time, it was just making 1 naira from those transactions. And those things was going to an account he created inside the system. These are things that occur on a daily basis. Now, if you come to the blockchain ecosystem, even if someone wants to do that, it is something that is visible to everybody. So it's not something that somebody can do. You tend to, everything is opened. The minute you decide to come to the blockchain ecosystem, everything is open. Nothing is closed, nothing is hidden, nothing is transparent. I say nothing is transparent. Nothing is hidden. Everything is open to the public. So if I'm doing anything wrong to your system or try to do a fast play on you, the blockchain will actually expose my activities, that this particular person that did this thing for you is a fraud. So because of the openness, that's why most times most people don't tend to want to go deep into it, because they know by the time you start exploring the whole potentials of cryptocurrencies, a lot of things will go wrong. To get. So next on our list is unstructured market and payment challenges, especially those like, now this is a common issue. I think I've met people who actually do this import from China, buy goods from China, import to the country. So they tend to most times have this payment issue whereby you now have to use a huge amount of your naira, since it's devalued, to buy yen to pay a Chinese man, which is actually not favorable. The federal government actually entered a business with Chinese, whereby Nigeria importers could be able to pay with naira. But this transaction was actually signed and closed, but Chinese man does not, they will not actually accept it On paper, it is there, but if you go and buy from a Chinese man, they'll tell you come and pay yen. So one of the ways you could actually solve this is actually using the means of cryptocurrencies. So what they do is with the platform of blockchain, you can actually send Naira using a blockchain ecosystem, and your Chinese business partner will receive yen in return. So instead of me swapping my Naira for yen, the system just does the swapping for me. I don't need to go to a bank. My own is just to fund my Naira wallet, while the ecosystem tends to make the transaction on my behalf using a cryptocurrency for intermediary. So that's one of the ways to go about it. So in terms of this, talked about traceability. Blockchain can track products from origin to consumer, helping to formalize informal sector. This is when it comes to importing of goods. So I bought a goods from Lagos, I'm taking it to Benin, or I bought a goods from Aba, I'm taking it to Enugu. Now, in the process of this, how am I sure that this person is actually sending my goods? How am I sure? Now, that's where the system comes in, whereby you start right. There's a smart contract, that there's a technology in the blockchain whereby, okay, I'm purchasing goods from Mr. James. Mr. James will receive the payment of the goods only when I receive my goods. You get? Now, in the traditional way, it's called an escrow system. There's an escrow system, but in escrow system, you need a middleman. But that middleman will not charge you for fees. So, for instance, I'm buying a goods from Mr. James, which is in Aba. If I'm using an escrow service, I will not have to pay the middleman, which is the company that will hold the money for me until Mr. James delivers the product. Now, the issue with that is, if as far a third person is involved, more money is to be paid. So if I'm to pay Mr. James 200,000, because I'm involving a third party, it might include a fee, an extra fee of 5,000, depending on the system. So instead of using that, blockchain is telling you you don't need a middleman who could actually make it easy for you, whereby that same thing can still occur. You will still pay the same 200k, but the Mr. James is going to receive his money only when you receive your goods. So that's how the system works. So it eliminates any form of third party. Oh, okay, let me involve A, let me involve B. No. The same thing those same parties will play and do for you is the same thing the cryptocurrency, is the same thing the blockchain ecosystem will still offer you. Another, we talk about secure payments. So when in terms of secure, in terms of, most times people have this issue of hacked accounts, bank account was hacked. I think these are some of the issues where Flutterwave was hacked. That was like a few weeks back. And the money, when they were calculating total of money that was taken from Flutterwave, is running into billions of naira that was taken from their account. So these are some of the challenges people tend to face in terms of how secured is my money. Is my money safe? The means of payment. I've heard someone who complained that he went to a POS to withdraw. He went to withdraw, find out that the POS deducted the extra 100,000 naira from the initial money he withdrew from them. That's another problem most people tend to face with services like this. So how am I sure that my payment is secure and it goes on time? You get? Because most times, there are times you want to use your bank app, nothing they work. I think I had this issue a time ago, whereby my UBA app was not working, my Kuda app was not working. The two apps that I had money on was not just working. As at that particular time, I had to wait for like extra 3 hours to actually carry out my transaction. These are something we face on a daily basis. Sometimes you make payments, you are being debited, the person will tell you, I have not received it. Sorry, you have to wait till I receive the money. And most times this thing occurs when we are actually in the midst of an important want to do carry out an important transaction or make an important movement, and just Nigerian banks will not allow you have peace of mind. Then you start having problems with the POS persons because of this issue of I've not received money, oh I was debited. I've not received money, oh I was debited, things like that. So to solve issues like this is why cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency's payment has done with Swift. A payment in cryptocurrency goes within at least between 5-10 seconds. The other party has received their money, and you can confirm it on the point, yes, my money has been received. I can confirm, yes, it has come. That's one of the solutions it offers. Next, let's talk about supply chains and its issues. Traceability again. Blockchain can provide real-time visibility into supply chain, reducing inefficiencies and fraud. So supply chain has to do with movement from the manufacturer to the wholesale, to the retail, to the consumers, depending on even how the business sectors is even running. It could be from your warehouse to your store to your business to your consumer. Every processes need to be traced. You can go to your warehouse and let me say you record the goods of about 1 million. That was what was recorded in your warehouse. Now, from the process of moving that goods from the warehouse to the shop, you are now discovering that the product right now is now about 850,000. What happened between that time? What come about? And this thing is, it's easy for people to actually forge figures, because the system you are using is manipulatable. So it's something somebody can manipulate. And they will argue with you that it is not a goods of 1 million. It was 850, sir. And they'll start bringing proofs that are not true to confirm, to make you look stupid. These are some things we face on a daily basis, compared with the whole Nigerian stress from workers. So this thing kind of provides you like a real-time visibility whereby whatever is going on your warehouse to your shop, or even in your shop, you tend to know about it. Then you talk about secure transactions. Transactions are secured. So it can automate and secure transactions between supply chain partners. So in terms of I want to send you want to send a person money that is supplying you goods. The process of those transactions is actually a secured one whereby it cannot be interrupted in any form. If I'm sending the money to Mr. James, I'm sending the money to Mr. James. The money is not going to leave Mr. James to Mr. John. It's going to Mr. James, and it's actually a secured platform. These are so now let's talk about businesses that are actually currently using this stuff. So we have Walmart. Now, Walmart is actually, as at was it early 2000? Okay, let me say close to the late 20th century to 21st century. Walmart was actually the biggest e-commerce store in the world, like biggest e-commerce store in the world. They had over like 100 branches across the US, and their products were actually the cheapest. So Walmart has been piloting the blockchain technology to track their food product from their farm to their store. This helps ensure food safety, traceability, and reduce food waste. So what their system does is, okay, people buy rice. Okay, let me say for instance, Walmart sells rice, beans, and garri. So with the blockchain system they have, they tend to know which product is ordered more than the others. So if rice is what is ordered more, they tend to supply more rice, less beans, and less garri. You get? So for instance, most times we have this issue of especially when we are stocking shops, when you are stocking your shops, there are some, because you don't know the product customers buy more, you now tend to stock what is not needed for what is needed. Now, because you do not have a proper record of knowing what a customer wants at a particular time, these are what the blockchain technology helps you to solve. In terms of, okay, we don't need to spend money on this. Even if your staffs are saying spend money on this, we don't need to spend money on this. based on the records the blockchain returns to you. So and so customers are ordering for this product and not that product. Another thing too is shipping giant is using blockchain to digitalize shipping documents, reducing paperwork and processing significant timing. This is another company called Masek. It's actually a shipping company. So what they do is actually, in terms of shipping of your product, everything is passes through the blockchain ecosystem, whereby everything is done on a Swift. So if you can go to their platform, place and just deliver the products you want to deliver, they deliver everything swiftly for you. Real-time tracking, everything is done through the blockchain. So it is not something that everything you get is on real time. So whatever is happening to if whatever happened to your shipment, if it sinks, it sinks. Because it is not what the company is returning to you as a report, it is what the blockchain is returning to you as a report. Because the company could tell you, okay, it's something happened with our shipment, so it will take an additional 3 weeks. Meanwhile, your product has sunk into the ocean. They are just looking for ways to buy time to actually meet up to customers' expectation. But with the help of blockchain, you know whatever is going on with your product at that same time. So nobody gives you excuses. So these are one of it. Another one is trade and finance. So JointLens is another company using it, a joint venture between IBM and Musk. TradeLens is a blockchain platform that digitalized the entire shipping process from booking to payments. Now, IBM is actually one of the biggest tech companies in the world. They were actually the first company to produce computers, laptop computers to be precise. But they were unable to sell it, so Steve Jobs capitalized on that. So IBM actually worked with Mox, which helped them with these trading facilities to process payments with blockchains, making then HSBC is another bank, is a global bank who is exploring blockchain for trade finance, focusing on automating and securing trade transactions. So there are companies already in different sectors already trying to explore the use of blockchain. The first we saw was supply chain management. That has to do with movement of goods and products. Next one is on trade and finance. The next one is payment and remittance. These are Ripple, formerly known as cryptocurrency. RippleNet is a blockchain-based payment network used by financial institutions for cross-border payments. So you want to do trade across borders, you tend to use Ripple. I think also there's this blockchain company called Chainlink. So they have this partnership with Visa card, whereby you could use your Visa card to make cross-border payments using your Visa cards. So we have another one called the Western Union. This is a remittance giant. It's exploring blockchain to improve the speed and cost efficiency of money transfer. Western Union, as we all know, it's used for making international payments, whereby you go to the bank, then they'll tell you for Western Union, it takes them between 3 to 4 days to carry out your transaction. Now that they are involving the blockchain in your transaction, so instead of the end user receiving money within 3 to 4 days, they tend to receive it in an instant. So these are companies who are trying to explore the use of technology and like, okay, we can actually make use of this to benefit ourselves and increase our productivity. Because what is going on currently right now, people don't tend to want to use companies like Western Unions anymore for foreign transactions. There are fintech solutions that already carry out those solutions, whereby the end person tends to get their money swiftly. So let's talk about the benefits of blockchain in B2B. One, it increased security, like I said, transparency and trust, efficiency and cost reduction. You don't need to spend more. Once your system is already set up, it has been set up, and it's going to be like that forever. Then it also talks about improving our supply chain management. So these are the things that it helps with. So that's all for the impact of blockchain to B2B business.
Favor, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this, your wealth of knowledge with us. And I like the way you have balanced it, talked about what is wrong with our businesses, and you have preferred the solution. Now, how can small business people leverage on this opportunity? You
So it's
mentioned
actually
big
okay.
people.
One way to do it right now is there are actually fintech companies coming up in Nigeria right now that are leveraging on blockchain already, whereby they tend to give you have access to multiple accounts, for instance. So in that same account, you have your Naira account, you have your dollar account, you have your pounds account, then you still have your cryptocurrencies accounts, whereby you could fund any. So let me say you are a business that tends to import products, because I know of small business in this world that tends to go to all the way to China to import products directly. So with these apps, you can be able to, like, okay, fund the accounts, the end person over there. You don't need to go to the bank for any transaction. You could just do everything from your home. That's one way. Number two is which I'm still working on. Actually, I'm still working on this whole process, because currently right now for SMEs in Africa, to be precise, solutions have not really been built to actually look into those different areas that needs this solution. So these are one of the things my startup is actually looking at, whereby, okay, all inclusive, because one thing we know in Nigeria, to be precise, 98% of Nigeria revenues are coming from SMEs. We are the ones who actually, SMEs are actually the ones actually making the economies to run. Nigeria does not have any economy. If all SMEs should shut down now, the company's ecosystem for business is going to collapse. So we just need to explore, because there are still more exploration. It was a few weeks back, my friend was telling me that federal government has even organized a course on understanding what blockchain is and how it can be able to help the Nigeria as a whole, as a nation. So there's an research ongoing by the federal government on this whole blockchain ecosystem for businesses. So it is something that is still open, and is still, every businesses have their own unique problem. So it is something that everybody, like, okay, for every problem you have, there's a blockchain solution. So just to sit down and, okay, let's find a way of working things out.
So thank you very much, Favor. Since we said that this new federal government is even already doing a lot of research, there are policies coming out now around blockchain, around the ecosystem. We just want us now to encourage our small business owners to open their minds. Sometimes when something new is coming, people are scared, people are afraid. That's why I liked when you talked about the benefits, when you expatiated on the transparency, the trust, and everything that it can do. Now, I just want us, as we are about to wrap, it's almost 1 hour, because we said we were going to use 1 hour. Favor, can you share your own social media handles with us? Just put it in the chat room so that they can scroll, so that we can put them there and they can be scrolling. So we just
Okay.
want you to encourage our young business owners to open their minds to this new blockchain invention, to open their minds to accept, because that's one of the problems that we have. Just for example, now you say you're in Warri or in Benin and other places, and you go to talk to people about blockchain, how they can improve their business, they will say, this one, so we trust them, that kind of thing. How can we
Yes.
encourage these young people to first and foremost open their minds? Because great things, first of all, begins from ideas. Then once your mind is open, then it can begin to work for you. So share with us your social media handles. Okay, you have put them there.
Also, that's for my Twitter handle.
Follow Genius Hub, follow Favor, so we can continue to share and talk about how we can impact our B2B businesses using the blockchain. So, Favor, as a way of wrapping, what encouragement are you giving to small business owners? Like I said, you
So
talked
for
about
small,
and all those big people. We can always look at them and say, before we get to those big ones, at this our level, what encouragement can you give them?
so one way I can now, you just need to, for SMEs right now, you just need to adjust yourself to whatever is going on currently. Now the ecosystem is not favorable. So you should open your mind to other means of payment, actually accepting, introducing stable currencies into your business. So you need to learn how to create a crypto account, send and receive in crypto. That's one thing. So one of the best ways is to use stable currencies like USDT, which is actually common, and it's easy to swap back to naira because it's one of the most used currencies in the ecosystem.
Okay,
So you
Favor,
should be open up to.
I'm already seeing our follow up of this our webinar where we are going to now be talking about how they can really do that. You know, it's one thing to
Okay.
tell people this is what you should do. Is another thing on how to tell them how to do it and how to go about it. And before you just round up, there is a question there. Which of these types of coins you mentioned, sir? My question is, which of the coins would you recommend for someone to invest in?
Okay, currently right now there is a lot going on in the ecosystem. So one of the coin I'll tell you to invest in currently right now is Ton. Ton is Telegram. It's Telegram. It's called Telegram Open Network. It's owned by Telegram. Telegram social media network. So Telegram is in partnership currently with Ethereum, which is the second largest blockchain in the world, to in building their blockchain ecosystem. The value of Ton right now is about 10,000 naira. And many of us now know of TapSwap. Click on your phone. Tap, 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 tap. So TapSwap is actually building on Ton, which is owned by Telegram. And that's one of the then another one is Solana. Solana is one good one to invest with too, because Solana's right now is, I think, in terms of the blockchain space, they tend to have the cheapest gas fees. So because of that, a lot of um, a lot of builders, gamers, especially people on the Solana ecosystem are more of artists, musicians, designers in terms of those who draw arts and those who are into the fashion business. They tend to make use of Solana a lot because of how friendly the ecosystem is to their area of business, and in terms of some gaming companies as well. So Solana is another cryptocurrency you can think of. I mentioned of Ton, I mentioned of Solana. I think those are the two you should actually focus on right now. Every other one, I'll say forget about it for now, Sha.
Uh, okay, so that they will not say this is what Favor said. At least you have given us the ones you're very sure of, and you have given us the reasons why you have given us Solana. And which other one did you call now? Ton.
Ton.
Thank, yes, Ton. Thank you very much, Favor. And so, from all of us here at Genius Hub, we want to say a big thank you to Favor for sharing his time, his talent, his energy, and like he said, is a space in the is a world in the new world in the ecosystem that is just opening up, and he has encouraged us to embrace everything that has to do with blockchain. Open your mind, and that is going at the end of the day, it's going to benefit us. Now, as organizations, you know, you talked about organizations, how organizations can use it as an organization. How can you encourage us to transition or to include blockchain?
So to actually, for businesses currently using data, there are companies that are already using apps for records. database records and all that. All you just need to do is just to get developer that can actually transit your database from just the normal database like Excel sheet and other ones like Oracle to the blockchain, whereby instead of your data storing on the known databases, you could actually transit to the blockchain. That's one way you could actually do it. So instead of taking your records that can be manipulated, you could take it to the blockchain whereby it cannot be manipulated. So it's just to make an upgrade of your current solution from the Web 2 to the Web 3.
Wow, 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 wow. So our time is fast spent. Favor, we thank you for taking off time, your business, to educate us and to enlighten us on the impact of blockchain on our B2B. Thank you very much. You know, we are going to reach out to you again for that other one I just mentioned. The enlightenment continues. And for all of us who have been following all our webinar series, you know, we are very intentional about sustainability and about growth of our MSME ecosystem. And that's why we are introducing some of this knowledge sharing. And we're bringing people who are doing very well, industry leaders in their separate fields, to talk to us and to encourage us. And we have heard from Favor today. So Favor, we are grateful from all of us at Genius Hub. We say thank you for sharing your time and talent with us. And until we see you again, Favor, what's the last word you will tell us now? Mr. Favor Ebu CK, what is the last thing you can tell us as business owners?
Business owners, just explore possibilities in the blockchain ecosystem. Get to know more about it. Get to learn. Open your mind. Get to learn it. When you are learning it, try to compare the solution it has to what you have as a business, and find out the ways it can improve your sales and retain customers. That's just it.
Thank you so much, Favor. So follow us on all our Genius Hub social media. Follow Favor. And from all of us at Genius Hub, we're saying thank you for joining us today. We're still talking to you about our summer classes, ongoing summer classes, Lagos office, Benin office. Presently, we're taking courses on for our summer camp now, boot camp. We're taking courses on graphic design, product design, and everything that has to do with the ICT world, computer appreciation. We're talking about our creative department, where we're asking you if you want to be a pro in storytelling, if you want to learn cinematography, photography, video editing, and in the fashion world. And so we have also encouraged you over time that all these at Genius Hub we garnish with our life management skills. So bring your kids, let them come and have an experience and a taste of all the programs that we have. And don't forget that we said on Fridays we have a movie time with the children where they relax, they watch movies, and they learn from watching. So from all of us here, from Favor and from all of us, Favor, we say thank you for joining us. And until we meet again, tomorrow is another day. We say bye. Thank you, Favor. We are very grateful. And we know definitely we are bringing you back for a continuation, okay?
Okay,
thank you.
It's a pleasure being here.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, I saw that you love doing what you just did. And this is what you love doing. You have a lot of passion for it. Thank you so much for obliging us. So from all of us, we say bye for today. Bye-bye.
Bye.